Social Zoom Factor, Episode 18.
Driving results in business these days takes something special. It's a combination of the right info and the right energy. Pam Moore has both and is here to help you avoid the pitfalls and guide your business and life by leveraging and integrating social media, powerful branding, and digital marketing. Welcome to Social Zoom Factor. Now it's time to live life zoomed.
Hey there, Zoomers, and welcome to Social Zoom Factor. This is your host, Pam Moore. Today, we are going to talk about something so very important in regard to business and life. 90% of people have their mobile device within arm's reach 100% of the time. Most people admit they have some level of addiction to the devices we all have today. We subscribe to the list, we read the blog posts, we listen to the podcast, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we crave news, we crave information, we crave knowledge that will help us grow, learn, achieve more. We want to be inspired, we want to connect. We feel and we struggle with questioning if we're addicted to the technology, to the people, to the content. What is it? Are we addicted to the technology? Are we addicted to the access to information? Are we worrying about upcoming or immediate technology changes? Do we have a fear of missing out or being left out? Are we afraid of missing opportunities to learn and grow? Is it the learning and the growing that we're addicted to? Is it connection with real human beings? Is it communication with our friends, family, and colleagues that keeps us there? Or is it all of the above? One thing I know is that the only guarantee in social, in technology, in business, and life is change. As business leaders, it is so easy for us to get addicted to the bits, the bytes, the metrics, the analytics, the ROI, the technology changes. Many business leaders worry about what will happen if Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn were to go bye-bye. Why do they worry? Often they worry because they have put all of their eggs in one social network basket. They've put all their eggs in Facebook. And so when Facebook makes a change, what happens? They freak out. Think that I'm wrong? Next time Facebook launches a huge change that impacts people in business, go check out your Facebook newsfeed. Go check out your Twitter newsfeed, and you're going to see Freak Out City. Facebook made changes. What am I going to do? The Facebook algorithm is no longer working for me. You want to know why all those people are complaining? They've put all their social business eggs in a basket that they do not own. When you put all of your social business eggs in a social network basket that you don't own, it is super high risk, my friends. When you do this, you are building a dependency that does not need to be there to grow and sustain your business in the short and the long term based upon technology, infrastructure, foundation, community, everything that you do not own. You cannot control where it ends up 6 months, let alone 1 or 2 years from now. Why would you want to put your life, your business into a social network that you do not own? Think about that long and hard. Your social media strategy should not be to force fit your business into Facebook. You must figure out how you can fit Facebook into your business with the goal of serving your employees, your clients, and larger ecosystem as much value as you possibly can. As I always advise our students, our clients, and everyone I come in contact with in regard to social, your mission is to quickly understand where your audience is hanging out online and figure out how you can have the most relevant and meaningful conversation with them that you possibly can that will help them meet their business and life goals. Getting on Facebook is not a social media or a social business strategy. Your business is about serving your clients, your partners, your stakeholders, and your community, period. If you need help putting together your social business strategy, give us a call. I also did a recent podcast that goes into the details of exactly how to put your social business strategy together. I also have another podcast and a white paper of how to get your social media budget approved. Go check them out. You can go to socialzoomfactor.com or find us out on iTunes, wherever you found this podcast. The heartbeat of social business is people and relationships. At the core of all technology is people. And at the core of social networks is people. People are the heartbeat of what keeps Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, even Snapchat, and every social network that exists alive. It's the people that keep that heart beating of that social network. It's people who write the blog posts. It's people who send the tweets, people who post the status updates, who share the photos, and the list goes on. Without people, without friendships, without business relationships, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter wouldn't exist. Think about that. And if you want to challenge me on this topic, I encourage you to come talk to me. Submit a question. Go to our question answer line at socialzoomfactor.com/askpam, and you can submit a question if you want me to dig in deeper to this topic or any other topic for that matter. You just leave a little voicemail, and then I will play it live on the show and answer it for you. So do you have an engaged community today? Have you fostered authentic relationships that are inspiring people to do more than just click your like button on Facebook? Did you know that approximately 98% of people who like your Facebook page will never visit the actual page again? If you're lucky, they will see your content in their news feed on Facebook. But just because they liked your Facebook page does not mean that they will jump ship with you when the technology storm comes and they need a life raft. People are going to jump in the social life raft where they know the team, the leader, have nurtured relationships and built trust. They will follow the leaders who have invested in them personally, who have helped them succeed, who have helped them grow and conquer the big waves and rocks in their business and life. Because relationships are the life raft for technology changes. They are what is going to keep your community with you and endure the changes together. Chances are really good that if you are not investing in the long-term value of relationships, and if you are not inspiring your audiences with real content to connect with you genuinely, then you might just end up one of the lonely people hanging out on a social network platform when it dies. Imagine that. Because you put all your eggs in a social network basket you don't own. Because if you only focus on selling yourself, serving your own goals, and not valuing each and every relationship, nobody is going to see value in getting in your raft because you are all about yourself. So focus on more than technology likes and follows. Focus on more than your influence scores, more than the number of people in your Google Plus community or the number of people who have circled you. I have over 18,000 people that have circled me on Google Plus. And to be honest, I don't know why. I don't spend that much time there. I have over 200,000 people that follow me on Twitter, a very engaged community. They're a very engaged community on Facebook. People have followed me wherever I go. When Google Plus came along, I was one of the first beta testers to get online. I remember it was the weekend of July 4th, and I spent half of that weekend hanging out and playing on Google Plus. But I have hardly ever even invited anybody to come join me on Google Plus. I'm not one of the people that sends the auto tweets every day like I see some doing. Come join our Google Plus community. But when you go there, all that it's filled with is spam and them talking about themselves. No, people have followed me to Google Plus, I guess, because they like what I offer them on the other networks. Focus on the core foundational elements of you and your business. Don't focus only on the technology. So focus on the people, focus on your relationships, focus on your content, because the relationships will be your life raft when the tide changes. The technology morphs and it's time to move to another platform. If you only focus on the tech, then when the technology changes, you're going to be left behind by all of your competitors who have focused on inspiring, connecting, communicating, and building real relationships. But when you have a tribe, a community, a tight-knit group of people who support one another, that cares what you have to say, then the platform isn't the focus. The words and the way that you make them feel are what will draw them to you. It is the relationship that will inspire them to choose your life raft and join you on whatever the next Facebook may be. And it is very important when we talk about not putting all of your eggs in a social network basket that you don't own. It is very important that you focus on the social assets, the digital assets, the online assets that you do own. You must have a home base that you can bring people back to nurture relationships. You need to have a blog, you need to have, or a website. You need to have a way to nurture those relationships through email marketing. Maybe it's an app on your mobile device. I don't know exactly what it is you need because I don't know your exact audience, but I can tell you, you need to get in the head of your audience. Download our worksheet, which is an audience analysis worksheet based upon the Post-Forrester methodology, which will help you start to put together a framework for building your social media plan based upon the needs of your audience. And it will help you prioritize the needs of your audience so that you can be that life raft to help weather the storm when the technology changes, because it is changing every day. It will change in big ways to come. There will be huge waves soon that are going to rock our world on each of these social networks. And you want to be that life raft that helps saves people, that life raft that brings value, that life raft that makes people feel safe, that people want to jump in and say, you know what? I'm going to go with Pam because I feel comfortable with her. She has taken care of us through the years, through the months, and helped us build community, support one another, given us knowledge that helps us grow our business, support our life. And when times change, when technology changes, they will jump in your life raft if you have established those relationships and you have established trust. And instead of that change being a scary thing for you, it can be an opportunity for you to take your business and your life to the next level. It can be an opportunity for you to leverage that new technology in a different way, not the technology pushing you. It becomes a completely different relationship with that technology when you are thinking about how you can leverage the technology to grow your business. What can it do for you? And what can you do with it, most importantly? So let's talk about some questions that you can ask yourself to determine if your social life raft can weather the storm that I'm talking about. Are you building an infrastructure, a foundation? Are you building the platform that enables real community to be built? Are you building such in a way that you can be that safe haven during technology advances, during evolution of technology? Or are you focusing too much on the technology of social media? So number one tip is that you need to make sure you are focusing on the human element of your brand to connect with the people within your community and the larger ecosystem. You must connect with human beings. At the core of social, as I've talked about today and on lots of my other podcasts, and check out my blog, you'll see a ton of information on this. The heartbeat of social media is people. And we have a video you can go check out with our belief on this. Simply do a search on Google for the heartbeat of social media. I'll put the link to the video in the show notes for this particular podcast at socialzoomfactor.com as well. But make sure that you are not focusing too much on the technology versus the human element of social media. Focus on the art as much as you do the science. Number two question is, do you really know the people within your communities? Who are they? What are their goals? What keeps them up at night? What problems do they have? And how can you help solve those problems? How can you create conversations that inspire them, that connect with them? How can you empower them and help them thrive in both business and life today and tomorrow? Number three question is, will your relationships that you have today weather a storm of technology change? What if Facebook went away tomorrow? Would you have another way to communicate with your tribe and with your community? Are your relationships strong enough to carry them with the tides to the next social platform? Think about that. Will your relationships weather a storm? If Facebook went away, if Google Plus went away, if Twitter went away, if any of these social networks go away and that makes you freak out a little bit, then you're probably putting too many of your social media eggs in one basket. You need to diversify. You need to focus on bringing them back to your home base. Number 4, are you doing everything you possibly can to deliver value to your audiences at every possible brand touch point? Focus on value, relevance, context, conversation that is meaningful. Number 5, are you providing information, resources, opportunities for your community members to connect with one another that are helping the community members roll with the tides? Because remember, it's not just about you. So are you sharing your best stuff that enables them to fly, that enables them to swim without you holding them up? Are you giving them the information that they really need, or are you holding back? That is key, because I tell you, a lot of brands, a lot of people, a lot of thought leaders try to make themselves believe that they're giving their best stuff. But really, when you get to know them and you talk to them behind closed doors, they're leaving 95% of it out and putting all the rest behind a paywall. And I'll tell you, their community sees that. Number 6, are you connecting with people for the right reasons? Or are you only focused on the number of likes, Twitter followers, comments, blog comments, whatever it may be? Do you focus more on filling up your life raft with likes and follows and influence scores? Or are you truly focused on genuinely helping and connecting with real people? You don't want to focus on building an empire. You want to build a community that thrives, a community that supports one another, a community of trust and relationships that are nurtured over time. Number 7, does your audience know and trust you? Pretty simple. Would you get in a life raft with someone you didn't know or trust? I know I sure wouldn't. So make sure you are establishing trust and you are creating opportunities for your audience to engage with you. And an important aspect of this is understanding the difference between authenticity and transparency. And I recently just posted a new podcast on that. You can check it out, about how do you determine how transparent you are, because people confuse authenticity with transparency. You don't need to share every single thing that you ate for lunch and dinner and breakfast and where you slept last night to be authentic. That is transparency. But you need to balance how much information you share with how much you hold back about yourself, about your brand, about your team, in order to gain trust. So I highly encourage you to check that out. Number 8 is, are you building a social community or a social empire that's all about you? Avoid the social empire and focus on the needs of your community, period. Number 9, are you nurturing relationships through the good and the bad? Disagreements are going to happen. Negative feedback will absolutely be communicated. Invest in relationships for the long term, no matter how much they may take. Do not burn bridges ever. And I see this a lot. I see this with even some large corporate brands as they are building out programs such as an influencer program. And a lot of times it only goes as deep as that one social director or marketing director. And as soon as that person is off onto another project, that influencer community that they just built and invested supposedly all this time in genuine relationships, they now just go and abandon that community and move on to the next project. Number 10 is, are you authentic? Are you connecting with people authentically? Are you showing them the real you? Or are you a different person online than offline? Remember, you are only one person, not two. And people are going to see right through your fake ways. So get real with yourself and get real with your audience and quit trying to be somebody that you're not. And as I mentioned, really make sure you're learning the difference between authenticity and transparency, because those are two very different things. This conversation is part of a series that we have been doing called Get Fit Social Business Series. And you can subscribe to the series at socialzoomfactor.com/fitsocialbiz. So check it out if you want to learn more. We will have lots more opportunities for you to engage in this dialogue. We will have training, webinars, Google Hangouts, and more content and podcasts coming your way. I thank you so much for listening to this today, and I hope that I inspired you to think about the social life raft that you are building. I hope that I inspired you to really think about the value that you are providing to your community and the way that you are empowering the members, the human beings within your community to do more, to be more together, and to help one another survive in this world where we know the only guarantee is change. Have an amazing day. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you on the next episode. That's a wrap.
If you're ready to Zoom your business and Zoom your life, then don't let the end of this episode be the end of your journey. Visit socialzoomfactor.com/Zoom for incredible free resources and guides. And be sure to join the Social Zoom Factor mailing list so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Social Zoom Factor.